Right, hello all. Welcome to another episode of In-Car Series, Season 2, Episode 2. Today, well, it's my day off today. After working 7 back-to-back shifts, I get a day off today. So, this is my rest day, so-called rest day. You know, I'm out driving again. I'm going to go to Alyth. So, it's the Scottish town called Alyth, and they are renowned for having a good Christmas decorations, good Christmas displays. So I'm going to drive from here, Dundee, to Alyth, and you'll get a wee bit of the scenery. Although the weather's absolutely crap, that's typical. You know, it's foggy, it's shit, it's misty, damp, typical of my day off. But that's the way it is. Nothing I can do about that. So this is all I could do. So I'm going to show you what you're going to see anyway, from the little, I'll be up there, won't it? What I've got to do is flip the thing. No, it's just after 3 o'clock. It's 9 minutes past 3. Now it gets dark about 4, so there's no point in getting to Alyth when it's still lighty. So I've left it late, so you'll get a wee bit of the daylight whilst I drive to Alyth. It's about a 25-minute drive, and then when I get to Alyth it'll be fairly dark enough to show you the Christmas lights and that, you know. So kind of like, hopefully, well, you won't see much today, unfortunately, but I can't change the weather. So you might notice already that the exhaust blowing on this, so it sounds quite loud, but hoping you'll still be able to hear me. I like the sound of it, it sounds great, but it's a waiting parts. I'll explain more about it when I move off. So we're en route to Alyth, the Scottish town of Alyth. As I say, they put up a good display of Christmas decorations. They're renowned for that. So I'm just keeping a watch on that doesn't fall over, because as I say, at the moment you're only seeing a wee bit of the road because the dashboard is covering quite a bit of it. So as I say, this is just early stages yet, early game. If I get some kind of setup where I could raise the camera up a bit more, you can see more of the road, more of what's up ahead, then I'll do that, and I'll maybe just dub the thing Season 3 or something. But the first stage was to get the camera dual recorded, so I've got that problem solved. The next problem is to get the, you know, more of a road view, because all you're seeing is a lot, half that is filled up with the dashboard. So I don't know how well you can hear me, but it's quite bassy actually. It sounds quite deep, the car, because the exhaust's off. The catalytic converters are still on, but the silencers, both of them are off. So I've got the windows closed, but the frequency that's coming out there, it's not such an ear-piercing frequency. It's more of a deep gravel from this. It's a 1.8 TSI petrol engine, 4 cylinders. It's a Skoda Octavia Mark II facelift, 2011 model, and it's basically the catback section is gone completely. So it's only from the engine manifold, the exhaust manifold, you've got the turbocharger, then you've got catalytic converter 1, catalytic converter 2, and then the downpipe. The original full exhaust would be turbo, catalytic converter 1, catalytic converter 2, silencer 1, silencer 2, then tailpipe. Well, the catback bit is everything from the catalytic converters back. So I've only got the 2 catalytic converters. Obviously the turbo's part of the engine, I won't run without the turbo. So both silencers, I originally got 2 silencers, both of them are off. The problem is that the section, it's a stainless steel exhaust from the manufacturer. That's the type of design exhaust they use. It's the same age as the car, it's original exhaust, because the way of telling that is to get the exhaust bit on at the back, the catback bit, there's like, you would have to weld it. There's no join, so therefore it's been put on in the factory. The only way you'd be able to do it without splitting the exhaust is to remove half the suspension, because it goes over the rear suspension. So that's the original exhaust for the car. So I've sent the bits off, well, I've left the bits at a local custom exhaust place that know what they're doing. But then they're going to get back to me with a cost and what they could do with it. If they could salvage the tail bit, that'd be brilliant. Because it's the middle section. There's a pipe between the silencer 1 and silencer 2, but it was sheared off from the back of silencer 1. That's the middle silencer. And then it was leaving the hot gases blowing out near the petrol tank. There is a heat shield there, but the petrol tank's right next to it. I wasn't happy about having that, and I still need my car, so I just got the whole section, the whole catback section removed, and now it's blowing out under the exhaust tunnel. It's just a short, basically just a dump pipe with the car converters on, so it's blowing out down here in front, underneath. So it's further away, the gases are further away from the petrol tank. Now the sound's brilliant, I like the sound. I've always liked loud cars and loud exhausts anyway, so I'm not in any hurry to get them, you know, I could wait, I quite enjoy it. A lot of my mates and my mate's nephew was going to be coming in on it for a run on Saturday, my day off, but I doubt I'll use it in this car because they're not quite as keen on the loud noises, so my dad's kindly going to give us a shot at his car for that one. So like I say, I just got to wait on them getting back with a quote. The only other way is to go to the dealer, Skoda dealer, which you'll probably see that on there, it's up ahead, just on the other side of that circle on the left there, the Skoda dealer. Now they would charge an arm and a leg for the parts. They're dear, you know, dealers are expensive. I can't afford to pay for the dealer parts, so I've had to look through my options. I went and checked online on eBay, etc. Online it's difficult, you don't know the condition you're going to get. Some places aren't even delivering it, and I don't know that they're getting different pictures. It's got to be the exact part, otherwise it's no use. So I thought, well, instead of mucking about, you know, risking getting the wrong parts or parts that are not going to work, I got exhaust parts before off online, and I used it slightly different on what it was originally intended on for. It was on the other car I had before this, it was the D car, and sheared off at the manifold because it was a cheap part that I got. It was a D car manifold, and it just split. So it was coming. The exhaust gases were coming out under the bonnet like that. It was blowing straight out the manifold. It sounded good, but you couldn't drive it like that because, you know, you'd set fire to the thing. There's fuel lines and everything under the bonnet. So, so I'm just heading up Meyer Kirk Road here, by the way. So I hope you can hear me. I've got a quiet voice, so if I shout too loud, it gets a bit sore in my throat, dry throat, like, you know, not allowed. I've always got a quieter voice, like, so as I say, I hope you can hear me above the noise, because I could hear it quite clearly in here, but I don't know, the reproduction on that wouldn't place it well on a camera phone. You put earphones on or headphones on, you'll hear it a lot better. I've done 2 videos before this one, well, depending on when I put this one up, by the way, but I've already got 2 videos on my channel. Videos of this car with the exhaust off. I got my mate to film it while I was driving it. I put the camera underneath myself and filmed that, you know, revving it up a bit. So it's quite loud. So I'm going up Lift Road. That's Cartmadown Park on the right hand side. That big wall is. You see that? It's starting to resonate now, so it's quite loud. I thought I forgot to press. See, on the other camera, the clock timer bit's at the bottom. On this one it's at the top, and I didn't see the timer bit, and I thought, oh god, I've not even pressed record, but it's 9 minutes, so it is recording. Thank goodness for that. I'll probably stop the recording and restart it, so it's a shorter file. I might just keep it. So it's a petrol car, 6-speed gearbox, so I can hold the gears as much as I want. But I don't want to rev it too much because for issues doing that, it's brought on the engine management light. I don't want to be doing that. It's coil packs and that it burns oil and it tends to fill up the plugs. I did that the last time when I was revving up too much. I shouldn't do it, but I just don't want to trigger it off again. It's an old car, but you know, I better get fog lights on, so front and rear fog's on. unfortunately it's shitty weather, but there you go, it's typical. There's nothing I could do about that. It's the best I could do, showing you what I could show you the day of my day off. I'm busy Saturday, Sunday, well I don't know what I'm doing Sunday. So it's coming into Birkhill. This is Birkhill. This leads into Muirhead. You're not going to see that much scenery today. I'll do other videos where it's a nicer day, like, but I left it later because, like I say, there's no point in getting to Airlift too early because it will still be, you know, light here. I want to show you the lights when it's getting dark. I'm going to hang on at Airlift for a bit as well. I'm going to get my teal, the chipper there. My Airlift's got to get the chip shot, so I'll get a fish chipper out of there. So as I say, I don't know how long you're going to hear this. I'm hoping that you can still hear my voice above the noise of the exhaust. So like I say, the downpipe, it's down here, so I've removed the bit of the back, or the cat back, so it's not blowing hot gases near the petrol tank. And I say I don't I like the noise anyway, so it doesn't bother me, the sound. But of course when I do like midnight cruises and stuff, I won't be able to do that. It's be too noisy until we get it fixed. So I dropped the parts off earlier today, so I'm just waiting on them getting back to me with a quote and get something arranged to get it fixed, you know. Because as I say, you've got to weld it on. You've got to put the parts on and you've got to weld the two pieces together, because it's not the normal clamping system. It's got to go over the suspension bit as a winner, like. So to do it in a one, I'd have to move part of the suspension, but I'm certainly not doing that. So they put the two bits on over the suspension and they've got the weld, because there's no any official clamps between there. So it's a specialist sort of job, like. Yeah? So I mean, Octavia is, I don't know, it's a Volkswagen part, because Octavia is a Volkswagen, you know, Skoda are owned by a Volkswagen, so they use Volkswagen components. Well, I say it'll be the same with all these Volkswagens, obviously. I think the Seat manufacturer, they owned by Volkswagen as well, perhaps. I'm not sure, I think they might, but certainly Skoda is. So that's unfortunately the way they've done it. I mean, it's lasted the life of the car. Well, not the life, not like a few years of it yet, but it's lasted nearly 12 years. So to say, I'm pretty sure that's the original exhaust, because there's not got any evidence of any joint welding work being done on it before. It looks as original as well. Unfortunately, you're not going to see much scenery. So I can put my rear fogs off and leave the front ones on, because it's not foggy enough. So just coming into Auchterhouse, not far from Auchterhouse. Unfortunately, the scenery is not really that good. But this is all I've got time for the day, like, you know. Sorry, the B954. I couldn't remember off the top of my head where the road was, so I had to check on the sign. I know the road very well, obviously, I've driven it off enough. You drive the roads that off, you need to pay attention to the road signs, because you know the road, yeah. I couldn't remember off the top of my head what it was, but it's a B954. I had to recap, I look at the sign. Coming in, it's en route to Newtile. We'll go through Newtile and Meagle and then eventually get to Airlift. So it looks like the camera's in widescreen for the front view, which is handy. You still get to see a wee bit of the right hand side. I've got the camera tilted slightly towards me, so it takes away the right hand view for you because of the way it's tilted, you know. So we're in Auchterhouse at the moment. We're just actually leaving Auchterhouse now. We just drove through Auchterhouse. Just between Auchterhouse and Newtown. It's they do quad biking in there. Auchterhouse Kirby Sports on the right there. I've done quad biking a few years ago now. Like, I've done it a few times. Like, a few years ago anyway. Maybe wait done that. There's a Bear 2 restaurant in there, I think it was called. The quad biking's good fun, like, I like that. It's quite expensive though, but I think with motorsport usually is. I think they do other things as tank drive, shooting, clay pigeon shooting. I've not done that, like, you know, I don't do shooting like clay pigeon shooting. I've never done that before. I'm not overly interested in doing that, like, but I'm more into the you know, I would like the 4x4. I'd like to have a shot of that and do that in there as well. I'd be interested in the motorsport side of it. They'll do like stag parties and all that kind of stuff as well. So that was the Auchterhouse Country Park. Activity park. That's way back there. This is the dodgy bends just before you get to Newtown. This road's quite windy. Well, it gets more windy further on. There's been a lot of accidents on this bit of the road. You could hear the backfires, well, not the backfires, but you get the gurgling sound from the, you know, when you dethrottle, it's like sucking in air as well, because it creates a vacuum, so it's kind of, to do with the back pressure and all that kind of stuff like that. And then when you press the accelerator again, you get a slight pop. I need the rear fog jog for you here, I think. It's kind of foggy again. Because the road's going down a kind of dip, it's dropping in altitude, so you're getting that lot of cold fog that sits lower down, and this is a very windy road. As I say, there's been a lot of accidents on this bit, this stretch of the road. And there's a bit of a drop on the right there as well, so you might just hear that backfire, but it's like a pop. So every time it's dethrottling, it's sucking in air, it's not actually taking any fuel in. It's like an accident already. See that car on the right there? So it's going down a gradient, so it's drawn in the vacuum. When you press the accelerator, you get this, I don't know what it is, it's maybe unburned fuel or something. There's certainly a pop every time. You get a slight pop. You wouldn't notice that with the silencers on. I mean, you've got extra back pressure when you've got the silencers on. It might prevent it from drawing in too much air or something, you know. I hope it doesn't wreck the cats, like, because they're expensive to replace, you know. I done it with my other car, actually. All my cars have had it with exhaust off them. But the other one had well, I removed the catalytic converter, put a decap manifold on there. It was a Mark 4 Astra I had. I'll maybe do a video of that later on, at some point. There's a video footage there, there's a lot of footage. In fact, on that one I didn't do YouTubing. So it's just footage that I took for myself, so they don't know what the quality is like. I'll probably have to edit a lot of this stuff. Because like I say, I never done YouTubing before April 2020, and the last time I had the video of the car with the exhaust was the later part of 2018. It was about this time 4 years ago actually, maybe October, November 2018. And then the other car as well, there's an overlap because I gave my dad the old car, and the exhaust was off that as well. That was actually back in 2015. I got footage of that. But again, I'd have to edit it because it was before I'd done YouTubing. But I might make a compilation of it all. And then my dad had another car as well, the exhaust off it. Well, I took the exhaust off. I took the exhaust off at the front bit. I got it arranged to be taken off. In fact, on the other one, the Mark III after that, I had the manifold off as well. I couldn't drive it a bit like that. But I wanted to see the flames coming out the engine, you know. It's just coming straight to the exhaust ports. I've got video footage of that. Again, I'll have to edit it because it was done years before I done YouTube. It was 2016 actually. So, but now this one's getting fixed and going back on. The exhaust getting put back on. And it's generally knackered on this one. Like the other ones were kind of like on their way out, so I just took them off because rather than it fall off or shear off, say I don't mind the noise. But this one had to come off because it was blowing out near the petrol tank. The fumes are coming out near the petrol tank underneath, so I didn't want to be driving about, you know, because you might get the odd spark or so. And it shouldn't after it's been through the filters, but you never know. It's hot exhaust gases, and you don't want to have that near the petrol tank. So at least now it's blowing out underneath the front area, so it's well away from the petrol tank. But it's just noisy, which I don't mind. I mean, I like that anyway. So that was Meagle. Just well, filming arms here, but we're coming into Meagle very shortly. So 22 minutes I've been on for. Resonating there, you can hear that resonating quite a lot of the noise from the engine. If you wanted to hear that, as I say, I've put in a couple of videos. I think I'll probably put this one up next, meaning let's think there's one with a lift shaft. There's 3 videos up. I put a longer one on and I put a shorter video on. But if, as you say, you'll find them quite easily. You put headphones on, you'll hear the sound playing through better, because on a mobile phone the reproduction, the speakers won't pick, you know, it won't reproduce the deep sounds because it's just a wee speaker, unless you've got like a surround sound at home or something. You know, the earphones are better, or headphones are better, because it'll reproduce the sound directly into your ear, so you'll get a better sound quality, but you won't really appreciate how deep it is if you're just playing it through a phone speaker, because the speaker on your phone won't have enough, it won't have a capacity to reproduce the deep sound. You know, a big surround sound system will, with an amplifier and a big woofer speaker. Headphones will as well, because it's close to your ear, and it'll reproduce. It doesn't have to reproduce the sound through air to you know, as a speaker. It's just right against your ear, so you'll get the sound a lot better on, say, headphones like. But if you like that kind of thing, you want to maybe do that, eh? I hate these speed bumps, by the way. They're just a pain in the blooming. They're just a nuisance. I hate them. They just wreck your car, eh? I'm absolutely sick of them. I mean, I appreciate going slow, obviously. Yeah, I can understand. You know, drive sensibly, yeah, just do the speed limit, but these speed bumps are, especially if I've got people in it, if it's loaded up, full bootload and a full car load, it grounds, and it bumps the bottom of the car and it damages it. That's not good, you know what I mean? Just, you know, just drive the speed limit and just get rid of these blooming annoying speed bumps. Scottish village called Mere. And it's school's out time, which means it's not too bad. I thought there'd be a lot of parking difficult. I'd say usually at this time it's kind of like a bit of a pre-peak time traffic when schools are coming out here. So, like I say, the Christmas lights at Airlift are quite impressive. So I'm going to show you that. The Dundee ones are not bad, but the Dundee ones could be better. They've been better before. But Airlift, certainly last year, Airlift put on a good show. My mate was telling me that I should have a look at Airlift because they, I think he's maybe been this year already. But we drive buses through here as well as at the weekends we do the Perth one. We've got the contract for that, and I've done it myself as well. So I've driven the bus through from Dundee to Perth, going via all these sweet towns and that. And it's first hand, it was just amazing. Like, yeah, they really put on a good show for a wee village. Yeah, they do a better job than what the city does. Or certainly Dundee's, in my opinion anyway. I think they do a really good job. I think they put more effort, given the size of the place and how the quality, you know. So I thought I'd just treat you to that. I wanted to see it first hand. I got my tea out the chipper there as well. Well, dinner, stroke tea, whatever you want to call it. See, working late shifts and that, I didn't get to bed till late. I actually met up with my mate yesterday after my shift. He gave us a lift up the road. I didn't need my car because it started at well, it was convenient just to leave a car and I left up the road on that one, so I didn't get my bed till late as usual. So got up late as well, so I never really had dinner. Resonates when it's at a certain RPM. The engine's running at a certain frequency, at a certain RPM. The frequency is sort of reduces a resonant frequency, and it's quite loud. That's all. Baffle box is basically suppresses that by reflecting the sound waves back on itself, so it cancels the sound wave out. And when it does that, you know, it changes the energy at the friction. So the engine's producing a pulse, you know, as a pistons. What happens is the 4-stroke engine, it'll suck the air in, then it'll squirt the petrol in, compresses it, then the ignition from the spark plug ignites it. That's your power stroke. Your piston will go down, obviously, when the explosions happen. And then the exhaust, obviously, once that's happened, it's got to get rid of the combustion byproducts. So the cylinder's under high pressure at this point. Once it's put the piston down, done its power stroke, there's still the very hot gases in there that need to escape. So when the valve opens, it goes out with a pop, makes a loud. It's like getting a balloon and blowing it up, right? You put a needle in it, it's going to go bang. You get a loud bang. That's because the gas is under pressure, it's exploding out. Well, it's the same with the combustion chamber on an engine. The exhaust stroke, when the valve opens, the gases are going to go up at a high velocity and it causes a pulse, and that makes a lot of noise. So it goes down the downpipe into the, well, it's got catalytic converters, goes to the turbo set, but once it reaches the silencer, that noise wave, sound pressure wave will hit the baffles inside the baffle box, and that will cause it to reflect back on itself. So it's baffling the sound basically. It's hitting the walls in the baffle box that cause it to reflect back on the next pulse that comes through. So one pulse will go through, bounce off the wall, and then when the other pulse comes through, it meets, and then it'll cancel each other out. And the energy, sound wave energy, is then changed into friction. You know, the movement in the air inside the baffle box. Like basically, the sound wave is cancelled out. so it silences the engine. That's roughly how a baffle box works. That's me trying to explain what a baffle box works anyway. I've only got a fair understanding of it, so. But without the baffle boxes, the engine, or the frequency, it's obviously the engine, the pistons are going up at a very, very fast speed inside, multiple times per second. So you're getting all these explosions every fractions of a second, and they're all escaping into the downpipe and coming out into the, it's vibrating everything around it. If it's not silenced, that pulse wave is vibrating the air around it and everything else as well, and it produces a lot of noise. And at certain RPMs, you'll get a resonant note that'll, you get pierced through. It's quite noticeable and audible, quite loud. But the purpose of the baffle box is to cancel that out. And with this having both baffle boxes removed, you get full noise. The catalytic converter will only drown out some sound. It's not an actual silencer. It's just an obstruction to the exhaust. Oh no, the lights they're on, but they're. And here at Alyth, by the way, the decorations are up, but the lights aren't on yet. Oh, these ones aren't. It's maybe still too early. It's only 20 to 4, so maybe the chipper doesn't open till 4:30 as well, so it means I've got to hang on for a while. I've got here too early, eh? Sure, so some of the lights are on at the square, at Alyth Square, but all the other ones are off at the moment. It's only it's only 20 to 4. A bit early, but I'll hang on anyway, because the first thing I'm going to do is get parked. Everybody will look around because they're hearing this car coming in because of the noise it makes. I'll just stay here for now. As long as it's not in a loading bay, it's in the proper parking, it's fine. So this is the Scottish village, Scottish town called Alyth. So it's half an hour. So I've got to edit all this video now, because as soon as I press stop on that's that file done. And of course, being slightly more complex, I've got to flip the screen round, because at the moment you'll be seeing me driving on the left hand side, which clearly not. It's a right hand drive car, but because of the way it's the orientation of the video, I need to flip it round to get it to. I've got to flip it round so it looks like it's in the proper orientation. I don't hit to sync it up at least anyway. That's something, because before I've had two cameras, I'd have to sync them all up, and that's just a pain. So what I do is I cut that section out there. I go to the movie app. I'll flip the whole video. Obviously that then will be flipped. The front forward bit will be flipped. So then I overlap the exact video again because at the moment that is in the correct orientation. The forward camera is in the correct orientation. You're seeing everything as it was. If I flipped it, it would look like it was driving on the right, sorry. But it's the front one's the correct orientation. The selfie one is the wrong orientation, because you wouldn't be able to read that. That's carton. You won't be able to read it yet until I flip it. Until I flip the screen over, if I was to put it on like that. So I've got to go to the movie app, put the file in there, it's on there as it is, right? Then I've got to go in to the overlay, put this exact same file in, right? With the, so I go to the movie app, start again, I go to my movie app, I put this file in, right? I flip it, okay? Then I go and add an overlap with this file again. So I'll put this one in on top of the one that's been flipped, right? Which means that will be in the correct orientation. But I'll then I'll crop this bit, right? And I'll enlarge it and put it over the one underneath it, because when I flip this one, that'll be in the wrong orientation. This will be the right orientation, but that one will be in the wrong orientation. So when I put the overlay, so once I flip it, that'll be in the wrong orientation. The inside will be in the correct orientation. I put a overlap over it, right? Which means the inside will be in the wrong orientation. That'll be in the correct orientation. So I'll crop all the inside out, and I'll leave this outside bit forward facing camera, which is in the correct orientation, and I'll put that on top of that section on the one underneath, which will be in the wrong orientation. It's complicated as anything to explain. I tried to explain it, but I know I've done it before, so I'll just do the same, but it just takes time to do it. So I'm just going to have to hang on for a bit until it gets a bit darker, until all these lights are on. You'd probably wonder what I'm talking to. It's, mind you, this day and age now, it's hands-free, is it? If this was like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and I'd sit talking in the car with nobody here, they'd be thinking, what the heck, what's going on there? Yeah? But straight up in front there, by the way, that's the Ayliffe Hotel. They do nice meals. I've been there for a few meals, took friends in there as well. The Chipper's just up there. It's not open until 4:30, so I've got 3/4 of an hour to utilise. So right, what I'll do is I've got my jacket on, I'll turn that around, I'll just show you what I could show you now. I'll hang on until it gets darker yet and all the lights are on, but I'll show you what there is at the moment. I'll go and do that now for you. So this is in the centre of Ayliffe, and it's really well lit up. They've got quite a lot of effort. It's a small village, a small town rather, and they really do put on a good show. Now this is only what, half the lights that are on. There's some over there that isn't on yet, but I'll go and make my way over to them. I'll do that in a minute. So this whole square area is really nice when it's lit up at night, when it's a nice dark, clear sky. It isn't really pitch dark yet, so it will look better by then. I'll maybe wait till then, I suppose. That's the chip I'm going to be to get something out of very shortly. The Ayliffe traditional fish bar. And that's the lovely Aylert Hotel I was talking about. They do the nice meals. It's tea time now, fish and chips time. So I've pretty much waited till it's pitch dark and I've got all the lights free, so I'm going away now to get in there, get my fish and chips for my tea. So they've really put a lot of effort into putting on a good display for Christmas lights. So I've covered quite a bit, I think. Yeah, I think I've covered quite a bit. Right, so this is in the car now. I've got my fish supper from the Ayliffe chippy and just going to get stuck into that now. And then I'll just basically head back home after that. So I've done quite a bit of filming round about here with the Christmas lights, and went into a local hardware store there as well, got some footage. It looked quite nice actually. And I walked up to the bridges as well, got some footage off of that. So I'm going to get tucked in. So that's the wash potato. I'll show you the fish supper. Freshly cooked. So, looks quite nice. And I'll wash it down with the Rio Tropical. Piping hot. So, well, it's quite nice here. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'm just going to get stuck into that, get that finished, and then get back in. So it's a bit, what, 15-20 mile drive to Dundee or something. Be here. It's not that far back to Dundee. Maybe 18 mile or something. I can't remember what the figure is. It's probably on. You can probably see it on the sign that I took a photo earlier. It's about 17 mile or something. It's not far. Well, it took half an hour to get here, as you would have saw, because I filmed it in real time. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. See what else I put up. Okay, bye for now.